the Earvin Magic Johnson Business and Healthcare Award. In 2009, he announced that he wanted to lend his name to a recognition, and we have been honored to grant a deserving recipient each year. And this award is presented to an individual, corporation, or organization that has demonstrated commitment to furthering diversity in the healthcare arena. Nominees are identified and selected by Diversity Alliance for Science. The Magic Johnson Business and Healthcare Award goes to Kareem Cook of Naturade. Here you go, elbow bump. Boom, and one for Latanya. Boom.
Thank you. I'm extremely honored and humbled to receive this award. Thank you, Diversity Alliance for Science, for what you do. I'm also, well, before I go on, I want to thank one person who's here, and that's my wife, Rahel. I also want to acknowledge someone who's not here, Claude Tellis. That's my business partner and been my partner in crime and everything we've done. And I realize you may not know anything about us, so I'll tell you a little bit about who we are. But I'm really honored to receive an award called the Earvin Magic Johnson Award because he's one of my inspirations. There's a quote by Sir Isaac Newton: "If I've seen further than others, it's because I've stood on the shoulders of giants." And I've been very inspired by Magic Johnson. Ever since he convinced a small growing coffee company in Seattle that black people would buy coffee from Starbucks if you put it in their neighborhoods. They won't eat scones, according to him. but they'll buy coffee. And when he opened up 75 of the highest grossing Starbucks ever and then sold it back, he proved everyone that he was right. My other inspirations have been Janet Hill, Owen May, a person named Gary Simons who started a company called, a program called Prep for Prep that really embodies the tenets of Diversity Alliance for Science. They put thousands of minority kids through private school and in college, and I'm one of the results of that program. But I really want to dedicate this award to my mother. You know, you don't always get to get your flowers when you're here, so I just want to say thank you to her. She's the most courageous person I know. You know, we have a company called Naturade, and our motto is be bold, be your authentic self. And there's been no one more bold than my mother. And I had a conversation with her last week, actually, that I just want to briefly mention. You know, I grew up in the Bronx, New York. And when I was 6, we moved to an area along the border of the South and East Bronx. And she ended up enrolling me in this kindergarten school that was on the other side. It was in the white neighborhood, which was a lower income neighborhood. And she had to cut through there to take this shortcut every day. And every day she would walk through this neighborhood and they would grown men would get in her face and call her the N-word. They would harass us, call us names. But every day she came through and dropped us off and then got on a train, 45 minutes to work. And I asked her last week and I said, "Ma, you know, just as an adult, I never really thought about it, but that was a dangerous thing you did." She said, "You know what, Kareem? I wasn't scared. I wasn't scared. Not scared enough to forego your education. And then I had a 45-minute ride, and it was 20 more minutes if I didn't do this, and I wasn't scared." And so as an adult, when it was my time to do something to make a mark in this world, I remember my mom, and I remember the words of my mom. I wasn't scared. Moved out to Los Angeles with my business partner, and we saw all these overweight kids, and we said, black and brown kids, and we said, you know, we can do something about this, but what could 2 people do? We weren't scared. We cold called the president of the YMCAs and went up in his office, and we weren't scared to say, "Listen, man, you got junk food machines down your lobby, you're killing these kids, what's up with that?" And walked out of there with 26 YMCAs, 2 weeks into moving out into LA. We said we could do something even more than that. We can get these high schools and middle schools. Went into the principal's office at Venice High School, and we said, "You're killing these kids, You putting these junk food and sodas in these vending machines, leading to diabetes. What's up with that? And we walked out of there with the contract for Venice High School. Within a year being out in LA, we had 7 schools, 26 YMCAs. When the vice president of a major soft drink company flew out to California to see us, because we took those 7 schools and those 26 YMCAs happened to once belong to them, and she threatened us and she said, if you keep taking schools from us, we're going to destroy your company. And I said, how are you going to do that? She said, I'm going to unleash my sales force on all your contracts. We weren't scared. Instead, we reacted. We went to Seattle, saw Phil Angelidis, partnered up with a consortium of health teachers, and got the law changed. The rules weren't working for us. We changed the rules, banning junk food in LA and eventually in the state of California, whereas right now between the hours of 8 and 4 p.m., you can't buy soda or junk food in a public school in the state of California. We then went and bid on a contract, and by year 2, we had all 300 schools, all 130 public schools in Los Angeles. We were invited by Bill Clinton and Governor Huckabee to Arkansas and talk about what we did in LA. They wanted to know, how did you guys get a law change, get all these schools and do everything you did in just 2 years? And I said to him, you know, if I were president for 8 years, can you imagine what I would have done then? We decided that wasn't enough. You know, we wanted to buy a company that we could make national changes, global changes, make global effects. We both went to Duke University and we said, you know what? Why can't we just crash the trustee meeting and ask all these millionaires for some money to go buy a company? We weren't scared. And that happened. We ended up raising money from some trustees at Duke University. We ended up buying a company called Naturade that had been around since 1926, selling natural products into the natural chains, Whole Foods and the like, the 8,000 health food stores. And we said, why should a person like my mom in the Bronx have to get on a bus and a train to get to a Whole Foods when she should be able to go right downstairs and have the same products? And so we bought this company and we started, and our innovation came from not the actual products, which were plant-based meal replacements and weight loss shakes, but we innovated who it was sold to. You know, everyone deserves that chance. And so our final obstacle was, we were once in Sam's Club, about 33% of our business, and we ended up having a buyer who set these limits for us to surpass in order to stay in the store. We crushed those numbers by 3 times, but we knew, and I knew, that when I looked in his eyes and he was going to discontinue us, it wasn't about the numbers, it never was, but we weren't scared. We just got into Costco last summer, as well as Target, as well as Whole Foods. So I just want to dedicate this to my mom again for her bold and courageous attitude about life. It was instilled in me and has led me to where I am. Thank you for Diversity Alliance for Science. What you do is so important. And your tenets saved a person like me and made me who I am. And thank you again.
Hello, everyone. Diversity Alliance for Science. It's been 12 years since we kicked off the annual Earvin Magic Johnson Healthcare Award. And I'm so excited that Kareem Cook, CEO of Naturade, is receiving the award for all the incredible work he's been doing around kids and their health. I've known Kareem for many years and was excited to join Naturade because of their commitment to improving health and wellness in our community. Congratulations, Kareem, and all the Diversity Alliance for Science members. Continue the good work that you will do for many, many years and for life sciences. God bless you.